Now give a big Tacoma Comedy Club welcome to your host,
Thank you guys. How are we doing tonight, guys? We doing okay? We're here to have fun? Yes, thank you so much for coming out to Tacoma Comedy Club. Quick little reminder, you can use those little table tabs. You can join our mailing list, our birthday list, so that you can get free tickets for other shows. But guys, this show is special. I'm really excited. We have a headliner, Kermit Apio here. Give it up for our headliner, guys. I'm really excited. It's going to be a fun time. I'm your host tonight, guys, and I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be in Tacoma. I'm happy to be in any city, really, because I'm from a little town called Aberdeen, Washington. Yeah. You guys can smell the poverty on me then. That's good. Yeah, no, it's not a good area. You know, a lot of people that know it kind of know it because of Kurt Cobain and Nirvana. Like, that's where they came from, getting some nods from you guys, yeah? And I don't think it's a coincidence that when people hear Aberdeen, they think of Kurt Cobain and Nirvana, because they have a lot in common, those two. Like, they started out depressing for a little while, and then they developed a drug problem. Now they're both dead as hell, guys. I had to get out, actually. Don't feel bad for that. They can help themselves. They don't. It's okay. No, it's great. I like to travel around and give a little fun fact about my hometown, you know, because nobody ever seems to forget this fun fact, right? Because Aberdeen, Washington was recently voted the ugliest city in Washington for the third time in a row. So, yeah, they had a chance to change. They did not, and that's okay. No, it's a fun time. You know, I had a lot of different jobs when I was growing up in Aberdeen. But probably my favorite job I ever had was I worked at a daycare. And mainly because I was the smartest person I worked with. Yeah, this happened a lot for me. But it was fun. I learned a lot about kids working at the daycare. Like, I don't have kids, but I learned there's two main types of kids. Like, there's kids that hate getting dizzy, and kids that freaking love getting dizzy. Or as I call them, the future alcoholics of America, you know? So, and it's fun. I'm like playing music, I'm getting them dizzy. It's quite literally a little kid nightclub in there every day. And more often than not, I have to give those kids a life lesson, because just like regular alcoholics, the future alcoholics don't know when enough is enough. I'll have to be like, Billy, we puked twice. We get married. We're getting close to what we call a blackout. Okay. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to lay down and take a nap, because if we keep going from personal experience, we're going to poop our pants and get arrested. I was fired pretty quickly from that job, actually. It was bad. I make a lot of silly decisions. I take bad advice a lot, you know? Like, someone just came up to me the other day and they're like, Jeremiah, you gotta burn sage, because burning sage is great luck. But he never bothered to tell me that burning sage I own myself was considered really bad luck. And I learned that way too late when my cat died. So rest in peace, Sage. I'm gonna miss her a lot. We all got it that's gonna get it and kill the cat, all right? Yeah, all right. Didn't need to explain it. Sorry, guys. I make a lot of dumb decisions. Like, when I was a young kid, I wanted to get like the cheapest LASIK I could possibly find done. And fun fact, don't get the cheapest LASIK you could possibly find done. There are some red flags involved with that surgery. They made me pay up front before I even met the surgeon. So I paid all the money, and then I met the surgeon, and he was old. Like, he was old. Like, when he went to go shake my hand, it was like this for LASIK eye surgery. And then in the same breath, he said, I offer elective prayers before the surgery. Would you like me to pray for you today? I was like, doctor, look at me in the eyes. You're gonna need more faith in yourself on this one, buddy. Let's go. It was terrifying. As soon as I laid eyes on that guy, I realized I was screwed, because he was wearing glasses as well. He didn't even like the taste of his own medicine. It was terrifying. And I wish I took the prayer, because my eyes turned out just as bad after the surgery. Like, that's the last time I get LASIK done in a church in Aberdeen, guys. Mess a lot of stuff up, you know, not just LASIK. I recently got a new phone number, and the person that had the phone number before me died. Which is a hard thing, you know, like, I didn't know what to say. And then the mom texted me. She was like, honey, I can't bear to delete this phone number. I miss you. I love you. Fly high, mom. And I didn't know what to say to a text like that. But I figured out immediately what I should not have said to a text like that. Because all I said was, love you too, Mom. She was pissed, guys. I had no choice but to ghost her like her dead daughter after that. Too far? Just kidding. It's never anything I can say. Yeah. Some people don't like that joke, like Jeremiah, that's punching down. I know, 6 feet down, I counted already. So don't worry about it. Oh, we gotta grow it around the way, guys. Don't worry about it. It's fun. I'm a dumb guy. I messed a lot of stuff up. I'm sure you guys are gathering this throughout the set. But I failed like every test I've been given as a kid. Like school tests, or driving tests, or drug tests. Whatever, who's counting, you know? I've tried to fail a test. I decided to get a blood test done, right? Because I can't fail a blood test. I have blood. I double checked. But I failed a blood test too, actually. I got a call from the health department like 2 days later, and I tested positive for hepatitis C. That's not funny, don't laugh at me for that. I was not stoked for those results. I didn't know I could fail a blood test, so I was scared. I made a doctor's appointment as quick as American medicine would let me in. So like 6 months later, I'm seeing my doctor. My doctor was amazed at the results, right? Because my immune system's actually so strong, it fought off hepatitis C. He said, I have the antibodies, I can't pass it on. He was amazed. He's like, it's like you have the vaccine that doesn't exist. I'm sure like a group of like 75 people were wondering why I'm telling everyone this. And it's you, so that you know that Aberdeen's gutters are good for something. And so that you know after the show, I will be selling hepatitis C vaccines. Yeah, one little prick from this needle, you will be invincible, ladies. So don't pass up on the offer. I got a weird family. That's why I'm like this. I'm gonna throw my family under the bus for this. My dad, he's a weird guy. He was an EMT growing up. And how he described his job driving an ambulance as a kid, he said that driving an ambulance is a lot like driving a taxi, except you don't get the tips. Which is a pretty bad analogy, actually. Like, I think driving an ambulance is more like driving DoorDash, if I'm being honest. Because the whole goal of both is to get the delivery there before either get cold. You know what I'm saying? I like that joke. I keep telling it. Some people like that joke. I think you could make tips as an ambulance driver. You know, that would be a hard tip to say no to in a situation. Imagine, you're just dying in the back of an ambulance and you see the little back window slide open to the front. My dad's like, hey buddy, you got a little extra? And you're trying to be cool, you're like, I left my wallet at home, I'm actually dying. And then you just feel the ambulance slow down like 20 miles an hour. I'm just saying, I didn't need to be born in a trailer park, guys. We could have made money. It's getting sad. I'm going to move along. No, my dad's annoying, just like me. And my mom would take my sister and me to a family friend's house, Eric, when she had enough. And Eric was a cool guy. He was kind and sweet and loving. Eric was the opposite of my dad. So the feelings I had for Eric were really confusing as a kid, you know? Like one day I went up to my mom and I was like, Mom, I think Eric should be my dad because I love Eric more than Dad. But she handled it really well. She was like, shh, I love him more than Dad too. Don't mess this up. And I got a paternity test done in February last year and Eric is my dad. So it's a fun time for everybody. The guy that raised me is a cool guy. He's a hillbilly from Montana. And so we got a Montana hillbilly here. All right. That's fun. I don't judge you. I like it. It's easy to know where you stand with a parent like a hillbilly from Montana because, you know, most of the time when you're bad in a grocery store, the parent grabs you by the arm on the way out. My dad will grab me by the back of the neck. Or as he called it, the Montana steering wheel. Am I right? And I'm petty. Like, I can't wait for my dad to be on his deathbed, and I'll tell you why. Don't pull back on this. It's still a joke, okay? But like one time I had an ear infection, and he had to take me out of school, he had to take work off, he was pissed. And when we got to the doctor, he grabbed me by the back of the neck, typical. And he reeled me in and he said, "Boy, if you're not actually hurt, you're gonna be when I'm done with you." And I was like, "Dear God, please let me be hurt." And I can't wait. I'm petty. Like, I can't wait for him to be on his deathbed, like I said. Because I'll have to take work off. I'll be pissed. I'll grab him by the back of his neck. Typical. And I'll be like, "Paul, if you're not actually hurt, you're gonna be when I'm done with you." All right, guys, you are a great crowd. I'm gonna keep the energy going. You ready for your next comic, Ron? We have a really, really great treat for you. He's performed 25 days in a row at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. He's also voted one of the most best undiscovered comics in America by Thrillist magazine. You guys, really, really lucky to have him here. Big round of applause for Andrew Frank.